Hey everyone, it's the Angry Honey Badger here. It is time for Badger's picks for the week of June 24th. Let's see who's free this week and what 4 champions I'm going to recommend. Free this week, we're going to get Jaina, Jinx, Mordecai, Quinn, Rammus, Rumble, Shen, Soraka, Talon, and Udyr. As for my first recommendation for this week, I'm going to go ahead and pick my favorite champion in the game, Mordecai. Now, I know Mordecai isn't really like a super epic champion in some ways because he doesn't have any crowd control or gap closers or anything, but he is super fun to play and he can be surprisingly beefy because of his passive shield. He's one of those champions that you never really run away from when you're fighting, or at least when you're him. You just don't want to run away from a fight because if you do, chances are it's not going to work out too well. So you usually just stay in there, you kind of tank it out, or you just murder him, which I like to do as well. So I like playing Mordecai. He's super fun. So if you've never tried him out, play him. He's interesting and different. My next recommendation for this week is going to be Talon. Now, I know I've brought up Talon before in the past when he's been free. I think he's a good champion for people to know how to play. He does an okay job at countering some of the AP mids because of his silence on his E, which is pretty helpful. He also is decently bursty and not very hard to play. I like to call him an easier version of Zed. So if you're looking for maybe a AD mid that you want to play, that you're not used to that role, and you want to have one AD mid, you might want to try out Talon. He's pretty good for that. My next recommendation for this week is going to be Rumble. Now, once again, we haven't seen Rumble in a while, which is kind of sad. I think Rumble has been in an okay spot, and he just got that newer skin not too long ago, so a little surprised that I haven't seen tons of Rumble back. Now, unfortunately, he does also fall into that whole AP tops currently aren't in the strongest place in the game. Which is slightly true, but I actually think he has decent damage, and from levels 6 to 12, he is very, very strong. So if you're looking for any mid-game champions, in case you're looking for a mid-game team comp stuff, he works out fairly well in that manner. So, and he does good damage too. If you get people fighting on his ultimate in back alleys, it works very well. And as for my final recommendation for this week, I'm actually going to go with Rammus. I don't know what's changed recently, but all the Rammuses I've seen lately have done extremely well. And I don't know if there's been changes just overall in the game that have helped him out, but he just seems even tankier and still putting out a decent amount of damage. In case you don't know, he does do more damage than people think he does instead of just being an extreme tank. The other reason is he tanks so long, he usually can get full damage out because he's just not dead. So that's another reason. His ultimate does do a decent amount of damage too, so if you do pick up a 1 ability power item on him, that ultimate does start to tear through people. So Rammus is a good jungler, got good clear, doesn't really die too much, gets around the map pretty quick too, so mobility wise he's up towards the top. So if you're looking for a new jungler you want to try out with some mobility, you might want to try out Rammus. Those are going to be your free champions for this week, the week of June 24th for this rotation. Try out any of the champions that I did recommend. Obviously, try out any champions that you want to play as well in case you were looking to maybe play a new support or a couple ADCs that are free this week. Try any of them as well. If there's a box around any of these champions, that means you can go ahead and click on it right now and it will take you to a build video of some sort. I also did just play a full game with Mord the other day, so there's a full game video of Mordecai. If you want to check that out, just head over to the main channel page and watch that while me and my friends punch people in the face with items, abilities, and all types of fun stuff. So try any of that stuff out, and just good luck out there this week on the fields of justice.